Hi together, nice to see you. So many people here seeing us talking about XenMobile monitoring. So we thought about a lot of time, what can we do, what can we present, and so we decided to monitor XenMobile and other components which are necessary for XenMobile. So first of all, I am Carsten. I'm the head of competence center Citrix by Sepago. So I think I know something about Citrix and its technologies. I'm senior consultant since about 5 years, doing stuff like Netscaler, XenMobile, XenDesktop, XenApp, and things like this. Yeah, as you can see, my contact details, and this is Jens.
Correct. My name is Jens. I'm also a senior consultant at Sepago. Yeah, I focus or I work with most Citrix products and getting more and more involved with mobility in general. I tweet a little bit and I blog a little bit about products and technologies I get involved with. Yeah, that's it about me.
It's his first time.
Be kind to me.
Okay, we have got a little agenda. First of all, we will talk about general thoughts about monitoring and enterprise mobility management. After this, we will have a short look to monitoring XenMobile and different components. A little bit of Netscaler, because it's very important for XenMobile, and some stuff for public systems, public services, backend systems. A few things, you don't forget these things because they are very important for you and your environment. We will talk a little bit about monitoring tools. Which possibilities do I have to monitor my environment? And then the last point will be about our experiences with XenMobile and what's working, what's not working. Okay, let's start with general thoughts about monitoring enterprise mobility management suites. First of all, the first question, do I need to monitor my environment? Is it a proof of concept? I don't think that you have to monitor this environment. Maybe it's a small environment, and you say, oh, no, only 10 devices, I don't want to monitor this. If you have a large environment with thousands of devices, you say, yes, it's very important because it's very big infrastructure, and if it's not up and running, I'm getting in trouble. But there's also a why. Why should I monitor my enterprise mobility management environment? If you have got a small environment with only 10 devices, and you have got managers connected with this, maybe you should monitor this small environment because your managers can't work if the systems are down. So that are thoughts you have to think about if you monitor your systems.
It depends on the critical business systems that you are deploying with your
Correct.
XenMobile?
Think about you have managers and they can't receive their email. You're in trouble.
Just a little bit.
So you take that into account as well?
Of course, definitely.
But be sure, if XenMobile doesn't work, he won't send you a email. Okay, the next point is how or in which way will I get my information? Is it enough for me to get information directly from Citrix? So, okay, we've got trouble with our control plane, so it's down, and okay, it's enough for me. I will inform my colleagues that it's not running, and it's enough for me. So this is one way, only to receive emails from Citrix, from my partner. There are some problems, and that's enough for me. Or do I have existing monitoring systems which I can use? So I have to decide on which way I will get my information. And which kind of these information are important for me? Is it important for me that there's an app store which is not running? Is it important for me that there are some wrong logins on my systems? Maybe a hacker or something like this. So I have to think about what kind of information do I need. And the last point, do I have some automation for these kind of informations? If there's a system or service stopping, should I reboot it automatically? It depends on your environment. If you have got a big, large environment, automation will be very useful and helpful. If you've got a small environment with only one server, I don't know if you need automation in this case.
Well, that's my part. Yeah, earlier this year, Citrix released XenMobile version 10 with some pretty big infrastructure changes. So they merged the device manager and the app controller into one appliance. Unfortunately, there's no migration path, so you will see still a lot of version 9 deployments out there. And so I will tell a little bit about both versions, starting with XenMobile version 9. The first big part is the device manager. It's based on a Windows server, and on that you will install a Tomcat web application server, and the device manager software itself is a Java application. So that means you have to check your Windows server, basically for CPU load and memory usage. You have to check if the Tomcat service is up and running, and also a very important part is that the device management Java application part is also compiled correctly and is up and running. If it's all up and running, how do I get information about that? What's currently happening is one cluster up, is one cluster down. If you know Citrix XenMobile and you go to the UI, you don't see any options where you can configure a syslog server. There's somewhere deep in the files and options, an option file where you can configure the syslog server, which is really important, so that you get in touch with the information that there is happening, some cluster problems maybe or anything else.
EW config, is it right?
No, actually not. I can't tell you right now. I found the information, if you're a little bit involved in the history, with Citrix XenMobile in the Sandprice knowledge database. So it's a little bit hidden.
If you need this information, you can ask us. We have got a link.
The app controller, it's the part where you get you provide your applications, and it's in Citrix appliance. And if you know Citrix appliances, you won't usually get access to the shell to install or deploy some agents. So you have to use that what Citrix gives you, and this is for one part a log server where you can specify a remote server where copy the logs by SCP and FTP or FTP, and also you have the opportunity to configure a syslog server. which you would really do. I've never seen an HR scenario where it's really working. Every time HR takes place, you have problems after that. And you want to get informed about it, that's something happening right now. Yes, we can talk about that after that a little bit later. The last part of Citrix XenMobile Enterprise is ShareFile. Your on-premise component is the storage zone controller. It's also a Windows server running with an IIS and a little web application by Citrix. You have no opportunity to configure anything like syslog. Just, yeah, you have a little inside the web application. You have the options. You have the possibilities to see if the service is up and running, and that's all. Yeah, you can check with a Netscaler if the service is up and get a notification, but I think we will come to this later.
Yeah.
Right. In version 10, the device manager and app controller merged to one appliance. And as you can maybe think already, we have no access to the shell. And you also, yes, have to rely on the syslog server and the log server already mentioned in the app controller in version 9. It's the same. ShareFile is also the same. Absolutely no changes here. Absolutely no changes here. And now can Carsten continue.
Let's talk about Netscaler. Netscaler monitoring, I think it's very important because this is your point where all devices came and connect to your environment. So if this component isn't running, you have a lot of trouble with your users because nobody can connect. Nobody can use anything on your XenMobile infrastructure, and therefore you have some possibilities to monitor the Netscaler. First of all, there's SNMP, very important. There are a lot of parameters you can configure. It's all about Alex, no live demo. So excuse me at this time. Only screenshots. You can see in the screenshot some parameters. One very important parameter you always has to set to critical is IP conflict. Why you have to do this is if you have an IP conflict, your Netscaler high availability pair is in a status like active-active. And this will be transferred by this SNMP trap.
So unless you have it configured for a cluster setup, you're in trouble.
Yeah. It took a long time to mention that this parameter is for the active-active status. Okay, so there are a lot of other SNMP alarms. I don't want to explain everything single. If someone wants more information, you can talk to me after this. I've got some for me configured, where I think they are very important. You can look at them if you want. I can show you. Okay, very important for your monitoring admins. You can download on the Netscaler SNMP files for different versions where the OIDs are described, and this is what you have to import on your SNMP manager or on your SNMP server. But not all OIDs are mentioned in this file. There are several for the single load balancing server or virtual IPs you created on your Netscaler gateway. You have to take them and say to your SNMP administrator, hey, these are my OIDs. You have to take them and configure your system that you have the right names in your system. Yeah, some question about SNMP. Then you have got also this log system for auditing on your Netscaler. It will be configured like this. You have got a lot of options. You have to talk with your monitoring admin about what you have to configure right here. Mostly it's only IP address, port, and that's it. Another helpful thing for monitoring my Netscaler environment is Netscaler Insight Center with AppFlow. All of you know about Insight Center? Very important for XenMobile because you can monitor what's happening on your web server, load balancing server for the device manager. You can look directly into the traffic of your device manager, see what's happening, which pages are loaded, and how many time is it taking to bring the pages to my mobile devices. And the other helpful thing is the HDX monitor. With this you can monitor the Citrix infrastructure and you can look deep into your HDX traffic. Excuse me. And you can implement it in your Zen Desktop Studio if you have got Platinum.
Well, I think it's available for all versions. It just depends on the logging time that you can see, right?
No.
So Insight Center is only available for Platinum?
No.
Oh.
It's available for Enterprise.
Yeah.
And then you can have a look for, I think, 2 days, 1 or 2 days.
An hour.
Isn't there a different 1 hour?
You have got more than 1 hour, but you can choose this on the GUI. You can only say 1 hour, 1 week, I think. I will have a look.
You're talking about the historical data.
Yeah.
You can look 1 hour, 2 hours in the past. Or,
Yeah.
Okay. I think the audience thought you can only have a look for 1 hour at the console.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. It's only about historical data. So if you have got the Platinum license, you can have historical data for 30 days.
Yeah, but it will show active monitoring information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A little screenshot what you can see on Netscaler Insight Center. If someone is interested, I've got a machine running on my machine. So if you want to see the GUI, you can do this after this session.
It's me again. Are the public services I have to monitor? Definitely. If you're engaged or if you're using if you're using an enterprise mobility solution, you rely heavily on public services. The first thing, push notification service. If you have iOS devices in your environment, you have to use this. Everything is based on this. Every device vibe, every notification, everything goes over this Apple service. If it's down, we have no control or any information about your Apple devices. So it's a key in your environment. So even if the service is down and you install XenMobile and you're wondering why you can't enroll your devices, and you troubleshoot a lot, and this is my personal experience. I've got it one time, and in the end, the Apple push notification service was down. So I wasted a little bit of time. SMS gateways. There's a possibility to enroll your users by SMS. Yeah, it's a nice experience for the user. It's really simple, and currently only Nexmo is supported by Citrix. So first of all, you should keep a look on the service if it's available, and then that your balance is positive. You can't send any emails if you have no cache. Also a very frustrating how do you say, event if you troubleshoot how you can't send SMS and there's no money left. Of course, the app stores. Key feature if you provide access or if you want to publish applications. Actually, with iTunes, there's a program, the Application Purchase Volume Program. I hope I said it correct. You really want to check that the stores are up, and that's, yes, you want to check if the stores are up. ShareFile control plane, I guess most of you know. Without the control plane, nothing works, so you want to check that too. And
I think there's a hidden URL in the administrative console on ShareFile that allows you to check whether or not it's up and running.
Yeah, there's, well, I change it on a regular basis. So I can't tell you the current URL right now, but you should at least check if ShareFile generally is available. Correct, and since Wednesday, Citrix published a new version of Works Mail, where it's possible now to get notifications again. They were dead since iOS 8. It's an Apple restriction, and Citrix built its own nice solutions to get email notifications back. So yes, Citrix, as far as I've seen, this is hosted on Amazon Web Services, so just do a simple check if it's available. I guess it's your part again.
Me again. Yes.
I've missed something.
Okay, another question. Do I have to monitor backend systems? I think so. XenMobile uses a lot of services in the backend. For example, SQL Server, Active Directory, DNS, DHCP, SharePoint, your shares. And if one part is not available in your environment, your XenMobile infrastructure will get in trouble. So if you have got separated XenMobile administrators and your Active Directory isn't running, you will spend a lot of time by troubleshooting your XenMobile environment until you recognize that your Active Directory administrator said, oh, it was my fault. So you have to monitor these things too. There are a lot of Citrix components which are also used. For example, XenApp, XenDesktop, if you connect your XenMobile with your storefront, then you have to monitor your storefront. And you have to monitor not only your XenApp server, is it up, is it running? You have to check if you can log into your system, maybe with login VSI or something like a PowerShell script, so that you have got a robot which is connecting to your storefront, which is logging in and starting an application. This will be the best test. You can also test if your storefront service or your web service is up and running and you can see a website. It's good, but better will be to have a robot. You have to monitor mail systems, firewall, storage, SMS gateway, as Jens mentioned. In most environments, all of these components are already monitored.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Hopefully. But do the XenMobile administrators get information about this services? If you have got a larger company, larger environment, maybe you have got the XenMobile administrator, an SQL administrator, an Active Directory administrator. Are they talking to each other? Is your XenMobile administrator in the right ticket queue? Maybe. So if there's happening something with my Active Directory or with my firewall, will the XenMobile administrator be informed? I think this is very, very important, because if your mail system isn't running, you can troubleshoot your works mail a long time up. You recognize that your mail system is down.
Don't forget other things. There are certificates a lot. You have APS certificate, which you have to renew every year. You have, to get notifications, you can use the device manager. There's a little option hidden in the information part. Or you just create a calendar event and hopefully be reminded more than one day before. You have to check your Microsoft or Symantec certificate if you use Windows phones. It's the same thing with the Apple certificate. It's have to be renewed every year. And obviously the basic SSL certificates for your servers. There are not a few you have to implement, and you have also to check if they are still valid. External addresses. The device management part, the app control, and ShareFile are each available through a single or through its own address, external address, and have you check how can I still reach it? Is the DNS up and running? If you rely on an external DNS, you should probably check if the host is looked up correctly. Yeah, if you have a really good system, maybe you can check if you can successfully log in and start applications. Da passt was nicht.
Passt schon.
Bitte?
Passt schon.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, monitoring tools. So which tools do I need for the whole XenMobile infrastructure and all components? I need something for my SNMP. For example, something like eHealth or Spectrum. I need something for my syslog server. Some of you know maybe Kiwi. Or the whole monitoring systems like Nagios, PRTG or SCOM. All of them are well known, but they have to be configured. In most cases, the monitoring systems don't bring for every single kind agent with them, so you have to configure your monitoring system to check if all external addresses are available. And you have to configure your monitoring system that it's not looking up internal, that it's looking external. Maybe your firewall administrator changes something on the firewall and the rules are not correct on the firewall. You have to recognize this in your monitoring system by configuring your agent to check the external address. I think.
Yeah, and Citrix has released, not released, but it provides a really nice web utility to test your enrollments. It's the beta and only partners can access as far as I have the right information. And this is the next slide, or it is a live demo?
I think it's free,
Yes,
but you have
free.
to register.
No, it works with your My Citrix ID, but then it's free.
Okay.
Correct. No live demo, only slides, pictures of...
It's all about Alex.
Correct.
Smart move.
So you just configure which environment you're using, which version you're using. iOS, you can select if it's an iOS, Android, or Windows Phone device, and you can check health monitoring. You can get emails if it's if there's problems on a regular basis. Right. You can also provide internal addresses if they are resolved correctly or accessible. Which is
this checks for Works Web.
correct. Works Web, Works Mail. If you're using an internal address, and the storage and controllers are also can be provided. And after that will look like this. You get a really nice overview what's working and what's not. you should also correct. As you can see, we have also an error in our Zipago environment. So correct the Netscaler part. It even resolves the versions you're using. And what was that? Correct our auto discovery failed for our works mail. Great stuff. So this is really cool, and if you're deploying new environments to new customers and have problems setting it up, that tool is really great to troubleshoot the problems. It's also, as you can see down there, like tasks, it gives you some problem-solving resolution if it's already known.
And one important thing for this, you can schedule this. So every single hour, XenMobile will check your environment, and you get informed by email if everything is okay or if not.
A small report.
Yeah, correct.
Nice.
It's really, really nice, but it's beta.
The problem is, I done screenshots this morning, and the service was not that correct working, so I can't took pictures of that.
So
That was maybe before. Correct, if you have the button to check, and then the new option menu comes up. And again, your part.
okay, what do we have for experience with monitoring your whole environment? We've got smaller and larger customers, and some of them want us to configure monitoring, and maybe conclusion of this will be shown here. Good things are monitoring for Netscaler is working with Charm. You can configure everything you want. Your networking administrators are very happy with this because everything is monitored. Everything you want, you can get information by. The implementation of syslog for the mobile server 10 and app controller 9 is very helpful, but it's not enough, I think. But it can help you to troubleshoot your environment. If you got the information directly on one place in your syslog server, it's easier to find errors because someone of you collected error logs from the app controller. It's terrible. You have to set up an FTP server portable, and then you have to send you on yourself the report, and then you had a lot of packages, and you have to look everything, and it's terrible.
Yeah, you have to search for certain keywords to
Yeah,
find your
correct.
messages back.
Yeah.
That's true,
That's the hidden support page where
Please.
you download directly.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah.
So-
So you don't have to do that good stuff with SNMP or something.
Yeah, but if you have got an HA pair and the secondary is not working,
Yeah, that's correct.
then you have got a few problems. XenMobile, as Jens told, is a very helpful and useful tool. We had to do some troubleshooting, and it helps a lot, I think. Implementation of monitoring agents on Device Manager 9 and components like ShareFile is very helpful. You have to do this because the agent sends you all information about your Windows system and about the web servers running on the Windows systems. So this is really, really good and works well. Bad things. We have got no SNMP in App Controller 9 and then Mobile Server 10. So this is what I wished from Citrix. Please implement SNMP for these two components. Will be very, very helpful.
Especially these comments are getting more and more important in your infrastructure. Users rely on this, and so I would say Citrix would be great if they provide a solution for that in the near future.
In version 9, you have got Apache or Tomcat running on your device manager. The most monitoring tools, monitoring systems do not often support them out of the box, so you have to buy an agent or use open source. Thank you. Something like this. XenDiag is useful, but it's only available for partners, not for the customers. So how many environments do I have in my XenDiag for other customers? It's not really good, and it's better. So it's a beta version. It's not always up and running. So I've got 3-4 times in the last 2 months, I think, where the service is unavailable.
And it's beta for a really long time.
Yeah.
It was somehow introduced last year, in the beginning of the last year, so I don't know if it's happening something with the tool or not. So it's.
I think it's a beta version since over 1 year. Okay. Any questions? And we have to say thank you.
Thank you.